Dr. Anthony Fauci faced tough questions on Capitol Hill Monday. John Jessup has more on that story from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John.
That's right, Andrew. House Republicans grilled the former White House chief medical advisor about the origins of COVID and the government's response to the pandemic. CBN News senior correspondent Wendy Griffith reports.
Fauci's testimony before a House subcommittee marked his first public appearance on Capitol Hill since retiring in December 2022. He said the COVID lab leak theory isn't a conspiracy and maintained that he kept an open mind about how it occurred. During the hearing, House Democrats praised Dr. Fauci for saving countless lives during the COVID-19 pandemic.
I lost both of my parents during the pandemic, so I take this very personally. It's important to note that if my opinion is that you are an American hero and your team has done more to save lives than all 435 members of this body on both sides of the aisle.
While recognizing aspects of his long service, some Republicans also criticized Dr. Fauci.
Business closures.
Early on, when 5,000 people were dying a day, yes.
Church closures.
Same thing.
School closures.
Again,
stay-at-home orders.
These were important when we were trying to stop the tsunami of deaths that were occurring early on. How long you kept them going is debatable.
As to the theory that the virus escaped from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, Fauci testified that can't be ruled out. He called allegations of his involvement in trying to cover up its origins completely false.
The accusation being circulated that I influenced these scientists to change their minds by bribing them with millions of dollars in grant money is absolutely false and simply preposterous.
Fauci did admit the vaccine was not as effective as they first thought.
The vaccine saved millions of lives, and I want to thank you for your support and engagement on that. However, despite statements to the contrary, it did not stop transmission of the virus.
That is a complicated issue because in the beginning, the first iteration of the vaccines did have an effect, not 100%, not a high effect. They did prevent infection and subsequently, obviously, transmission. However, it's important to point out something that we did not know early on that became evident as the months went by, is that the durability of protection against infection and hence transmission was relatively limited.
Yeah, definitely had a positive effect for many people, especially those that were vulnerable. But we knew from the trials that people that got vaccinated still were subject to getting COVID. So was the COVID vaccine 100% effective?
I don't believe any vaccine is 100% effective.
Fauci also said more work needs to be done to prepare the U.S. for the next pandemic, including better communication between federal and local officials.